Welcome to English Vertex Podcast.
Improve your vocabulary, grammar, and pronunciation with our engaging lessons.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Simple English Talks. I'm so happy you're here with us today.
Hey there. Great to see you all again. I actually just made a pretty big decision this morning, so this topic feels perfect.
Oh, really? What did you decide?
I finally decided to switch my coffee order. No more sugar. It's a small thing, but it felt huge at 7 in the morning.
I love that. Honestly, we make so many decisions every single day, and most of the time, we don't even talk about how we make them.
That's so true, and that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're going to learn how to talk about making decisions in English in a natural, everyday way.
By the end of this episode, you'll be able to talk about decisions you're weighing, decisions you've already made, and even decisions you regret, all using natural English expressions.
We'll also cover some really common mistakes learners make with this topic so you can avoid them.
This is such a useful topic because everyone, everywhere is making decisions all the time. Big ones, small ones, easy ones, hard ones.
Exactly. So here's a question for you while you listen. What's the last big decision you made? Write it in the comments below. We'd love to read them.
And if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe. It really helps us keep making these episodes for you.
All right, let's get into it. Let's start with the basics of talking about decisions.
So let's start simple. In English, the most basic way to talk about a decision is with the verb decide. The structure is really simple. Subject plus decide plus to plus a verb. For example, I decided to go to the gym, or she decided to change jobs. Subject, decide, to, verb.
Let's give some real examples. We decided to move to a smaller apartment. He decided to learn Spanish this year. They decided to cancel the trip because of the weather.
I decided to stop eating fast food. My sister decided to adopt a dog. Those all sound so normal, right? That's because decide to is one of the most common structures in everyday English. Let me give you a personal one. Last year, I decided to start waking up an hour earlier. Honestly, it changed my whole morning.
Did it actually work?
Most days, yes. Some days, my bed definitely wins. Relatable. Okay, here's a question for you two at home. Can you finish this sentence? Last week, I decided to take a second, say it out loud right now. It's a great way to practice. Now, let's look at the negative form. It's just as simple. You add not before the to. I decided not to go to the party. He decided not to buy the car.
We decided not to tell her yet. They decided not to renew the contract.
See how natural that sounds? Subject, decide, not, to, verb.
Here's another question for you listeners. Can you think of something you decided not to do recently? Maybe you decided not to check your phone before bed?
Or decided not to buy something you really wanted?
Exactly. Try making a sentence with decided not to right now, out loud.
There's also a slightly different structure worth knowing. Decide on plus a noun. Like, we decided on the blue one, or they decided on a restaurant.
This is great when you're choosing between options, not just deciding to do an action.
We couldn't decide on a movie, so we just watched the news. She decided on chicken instead of fish.
So to quickly summarize this section, use decide to plus a verb for actions, decide not to for negative actions, and decide on plus a noun when you're choosing between options. Simple structure, but incredibly useful in daily conversation.
Now let's build on this. Decide is great, but native speakers use a lot of other expressions to talk about decisions too.
Right, and these expressions often carry a bit more feeling or context. Let's start with make up my mind. It means the same as decide, but it's more casual and personal.
For example, I can't make up my mind about which car to buy. Or she finally made up her mind and applied for the job.
It's really common when someone is going back and forth between two choices, like, I've been going back and forth, but I finally made up my mind.
I use this one all the time. Just yesterday, I was standing in the cereal aisle for way too long, trying to make up my mind.
We've all been there. Here's a real-life dialogue example. Imagine two friends talking.
Have you made up your mind about the trip yet?
Not yet. I'm still thinking about it. Give me one more day.
See how natural that sounds? It's exactly how real people talk, not like a textbook.
Now, let's compare formal and informal usage. In a business meeting, someone might say, "We have reached a decision," or "The board has come to a conclusion."
But with friends, you'd more likely hear, "I've decided," or "I made up my mind," or even just, "I'm going with the blue one."
Here's a quick practice activity for you. Try saying this sentence in both a formal way and a casual way. The decision is about choosing a restaurant for dinner.
So formal might be, "We have decided on an Italian restaurant for this evening." And casual might be, "We just decided on Italian. Let's go."
Great example. Now, here are some quick tips. First, use "make up my mind" when talking about personal choices, especially ones you were unsure about.
Second, use come to a decision or reach a decision in more formal or professional settings, like at work or in meetings. Third, remember that decide works everywhere, formal or informal, so it's your safest and most flexible option. One more expression worth knowing is weigh the pros and cons. It means thinking carefully about the good and bad sides of something before deciding.
For example, I'm weighing the pros and cons of moving to a new city, or let's weigh the pros and cons before we sign the contract. This is such a useful phrase for talking about serious decisions. Try writing your own sentence with weigh the pros and cons in the comments below.
So to review this section, we've got decide, make up my mind, come to a decision, and weigh the pros and cons. All different ways to talk about the same basic idea.
Now let's move to something a little more advanced. Sometimes we don't just talk about making decisions. We talk about how confident or unsure we feel about them.
Exactly. This is such a natural part of everyday conversation. Think about how often you say things like, "I'm torn," or "I'm not sure."
Let's start with feeling unsure. I'm on the fence about this. It means you haven't decided yet, and you're kind of stuck between two options.
For example, "I'm on the fence about taking that job offer," or "She's on the fence about buying a new phone."
Here's a real-life situation. Imagine your friend asks you about a big purchase.
So, are you getting the new laptop?
Honestly, I'm on the fence. It's expensive, but I really need it for work.
That sounds so real, right? People say this kind of thing all the time.
Another great phrase is "I'm torn between." This means you're stuck between two specific choices. I'm torn between the black jacket and the gray one.
We're torn between staying home and going on vacation this year.
Here's a tip for politeness and naturalness. When someone asks for your opinion on a decision, instead of just saying, "I don't know," try saying, "I'm torn," or "I'm still weighing my options." It sounds much more natural and thoughtful.
Let's do a quick interactive mini practice. I'll describe a situation, and you two think about how confident you'd feel. Situation 1, choosing what to eat for lunch. Probably pretty confident, right?
Definitely. Situation 2, choosing a new career path. That's a much bigger decision, so you might feel more torn or on the fence.
Exactly. Try saying out loud right now, "I'm confident about," and finish the sentence with something true for you.
Encourage yourself to speak it out loud, even if no one's listening. It really helps your brain remember the phrase.
One more useful phrase here is second guessing myself. It means doubting a decision after you've already made it.
For example,
I already bought the tickets, but now I'm second guessing myself. Or don't second guess yourself. You made the right call.
There's one more phrase worth mentioning here. Sleep on it. It means waiting until the next day before making a final decision, so you can think clearly.
For example, that's a big offer. Let me sleep on it before I give you an answer. Or don't decide tonight. Just sleep on it. I love this phrase because it shows that in English culture, taking time before a big decision is seen as smart, not slow.
Definitely. It's a really polite way to ask for more time, too. If someone asks you to decide right away, you can simply say, "Can I sleep on it?"
Let's do one more quick practice. Imagine your boss offers you a promotion right now. What would you say if you needed more time?
You could say, "Thank you so much. This is amazing news. Can I sleep on it and give you my answer tomorrow?"
Perfect example. Try saying that out loud, using your own real situation if you'd like. So, to review this whole section, we talked about being on the fence, being torn between options, feeling confident, second-guessing yourself, and sleeping on it before deciding. These are all natural ways English speakers express how they feel about decisions.
Great structural review. Now, let's move on to something everyone deals with. Common mistakes.
Okay, I have to admit something. When I was learning phrasal expressions, I used to say I decided about it instead of I decided on it. Such a small mistake, but it happens all the time. Honestly, we all make mistakes like this. Even native speakers slip up sometimes with prepositions. Let's go through a few common ones. Mistake number 1, saying decide about instead of decide on. Incorrect. I decided about the blue shirt. Correct. I decided on the blue shirt. The reason this happens is that about feels natural because we use it with topics like talk about or think about. But with choices, English uses on. Mistake number 2, saying I have decided to it instead of just I have decided. Incorrect. I have decided to it already. Correct. I have already decided. Or I've decided to do it. This mix-up usually happens because learners try to add to it out of habit, but decide doesn't need that extra object like that. Mistake number 3, confusing decide with decision. Incorrect. I need to decision soon. Correct. I need to decide soon, or I need to make a decision soon. Remember, decide is the verb and decision is the noun. You make a decision, but you decide something. Remember, decide is the verb and decision is the noun. You make a decision, but you decide something.
In English, we make decisions. We don't do them. This is a collocation, meaning these words just naturally pair together.
Here's a funny one from my own life. I once told a coworker I'm still on the fence about the fence when we were literally talking about building a fence for the yard. Everyone laughed. That's amazing, honestly. Mistakes like that are what make language learning fun and memorable. Try practicing this sentence pair out loud. First say the incorrect version, then the correct one. I did a decision. I made a decision.
And remember, making these mistakes is completely normal. Every single English learner makes them. And honestly, so do native speakers sometimes with other languages.
Absolutely. Mistakes are proof that you're actually trying, and that's the most important part of learning. Here's one final mistake worth mentioning. Some learners say, I'm agree, when they mean they support a decision. Incorrect. I'm agree with your decision. Correct. I agree with your decision.
This happens because in some languages, agree works like an adjective with be. But in English, agree is already a full verb, so it doesn't need am, is, or are in front of it.
So just remember, I agree, not I'm agree. Simple, but it makes a huge difference in how natural you sound.
And if you're ever unsure whether something sounds right, a great trick is to say the sentence out loud a few different ways and notice which one feels more natural to your ear over time.
That's such good advice. The more you listen to real English, like in this podcast, the more your ear naturally starts to catch these small differences. All right, let's move on to some fun interactive practice.
Let's do our favorite activity. Choose the correct sentence. I'll read 2 options and think about which one sounds more natural. Situation 1. A. I decided about the new apartment. B. I decided on the new apartment.
Option B is correct. Decided on is the natural choice here.
Situation 2. A. She made a decision quickly. B. She did a decision quickly.
Option A, of course. We always make decisions.
Situation 3. A. I'm torn between 2 job offers. B. I'm torn about 2 job offers.
Option A is more natural. We say torn between 2 choices.
Situation 4. A. I'm still making up my mind. B. I'm still making my mind.
Option A. Don't forget that little up in make up my mind.
Situation 5. A. He decided to not go. B. He decided not to go.
Option B sounds much more natural in everyday English.
Great job if you got those right. Try saying each correct sentence out loud one more time, just to build that muscle memory.
We can also add some variations here. Try saying situation 5 in a formal tone, like you're at work, and then in a super casual tone, like you're texting a friend. Formal. He has decided not to attend the meeting. Casual. He's not going. He decided.
See how the meaning stays the same, but the tone completely changes?
Now here's a challenge for you. Create your own sentence using one of today's expressions, whether it's decide on, make up my mind, torn between, or on the fence.
Write it in the comments. We would genuinely love to read your sentences.
And remember, the goal here isn't perfect grammar every single time. It's real conversation and confidence.
Exactly. Speaking naturally matters so much more than being perfect. Keep that in mind every time you practice.
Wow, what an amazing episode today. Let's do a quick summary of everything we covered.
We covered 3 main things. First, the basic structure decide to, decide not to, and decide on for talking about actions and choices.
Second, natural expressions like make up my mind, come to a decision, and weigh the pros and cons for everyday and formal situations.
And third, expressions for feeling unsure or confident, like on the fence, torn between, and second-guessing myself.
You did such a great job today. And honestly, just by listening and practicing along with us, you're already improving your English.
Here's a reflective question for you. Think about one decision you're facing right now in your life. How would you describe it using today's expressions?
Take a moment, think it through, and definitely share it with us in the comments. And of course, don't forget to like this video, share it with a friend who's learning English, and subscribe to Simple English Talks so you never miss an episode.
We put so much love into these episodes, and your support genuinely means the world to us.
Keep practicing, keep speaking out loud, and remember that every small step brings you closer to fluency.
Thank you all so much for spending this time with us today. See you next time.